Hey guys, hope everyone's doing good. Out here working on the car. I finally got all my fiberglass stuff. Slowly chipping away at getting the doors on. It is not easy. So I thought I'd make a quick little video on how to hang the doors. It's definitely a challenge. There's some videos out there, but I didn't really find them super helpful. Show you what I did, and hopefully it'll help you guys out. So I've got my driver's side door all set up and working. I don't have the interior handles all done yet. But basically it swings nice. If you stop it somewhere, it doesn't want to open or close on its own. Kind of just hangs out where you leave it. It lifts off super easy. Goes back on just as easy. And ends up right where you left it. Shuts nice. It's not lifting or anything when you shut it. And it's not dropping way down when you open it. And it's actually lined up very well, in my opinion, for being fiberglass. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's better than I expected. Um, I've dealt with a lot of fiberglass front end stuff, and these are definitely nice pieces. So I haven't started the passenger door yet. I'll show you guys the process I went through on setting it up and getting it on there. So first thing I did was install the striker pin, and this thing's got a lot of adjustment, so I'm just going to center it up and get ready to locate the latch on the door. Next thing I did was hold the door up in the car and basically eyeball where the striker is going to land on the door when the door is shut and in position. Now it is just an eyeball, but my striker has quite a bit of adjustment, so I'm not too worried about it as long as I'm in the ballpark. I will point out that both my doors had outline, you can feel it. I'm assuming where the striker is supposed to hit on a factory car, and both my doors was pretty much dead on in the middle of it. And then I just had to figure out how far in or out the striker was going to be. Basically next, you're going to locate this plate and trim it to fit and get the latch to basically land right where you want it. Okay, once the latch is all installed, next thing I did was I clamped just a piece of flat bar, kind of bent it up so that it's kind of flush with the rocker. So next thing we're going to do is just kind of set the door over top of the flat bar and get your rear latch to lock in. And then that way the flat bar kind of holds the door flush. So at this point, I just started adjusting the striker to get my body line to line up nice. Okay, once the striker is adjusted at the rear of the door to line up with the body line, and be flush with the quarter. Next thing I'm going to do is run a string line across the existing body line and line the door up in line with it. I might have to start shimming the front of the door to the rocker panel just to get the body line lined up. So the string line worked pretty well for me because I got a pretty straight body line on the whole car. But basically you just want to make sure the door is lined up with the car. So if you can use body lines or whatever. I just was worried about using just the bottom edge of the door because I don't know how it's trimmed. But these doors seem to be pretty good because my body line's lined up and my gap to my rocker is pretty consistent front to back. Okay, so at this point, the door will basically pivot on the rear latch so it can kind of rock back and forth. So next step is to line up all the sides of the door. Get everything nice and flush. Get it nice and even with the rocker. Get all the gaps kind of where you want them. And then basically lock it down in this position so it can't move. So I still have that piece of flat bar at the front. I got a clamp at the rear. And basically, you can see I've got it fit pretty well, or basically as good as it's going to get. It's probably going to be a compromise. Usually with installing most panels, I mean, you're just going to make it the best you can. Chances are it's not going to be 100%, but you just got to get it so you're happy with it, basically. I'll just show you my driver's door for reference. Basically, it's nice and flush down at the bottom, and it's nice and flush at the top. but I have it's just sticking in a little bit right at the body line. But basically that was the compromise that I came up with. If I had lined it up nice and flush right here, it'd be sticking out at the top and sticking out at the bottom. So just basic panel install stuff, but just get it as best you can basically. Next step is locate the front hinges and get them placed on the door. I basically put them out as far as I could while leaving enough room that the door can lift on and off, because if you kind of follow the string line down to the bottom, it gets a little tighter to the inside of the door. So I didn't want to have it out so far that the pin for the door hinge gets into the actual door and causes any problems. So I started with my top one first and basically put it up as high as you can. You want to keep these separated as much as you can just to spread the load out across the door so it doesn't get a lot of leverage and make the door all flimsy. And then I made this little bushing to go in the hole for the pin just to help me center up the string. And then you drop your plumb bob in, locate your bottom one, and you want to get this lined right up so it's dead nuts plumb with the top one. I did have to make a spacer on this, so I'm either gonna make a permanent spacer, something a little nicer than that one, or I'm just gonna remake this angle piece just a little bit longer. But without the spacer, I couldn't get my hinges plumb with each other. The top one would have been in too far, and then it wouldn't have lined up with the bottom one. But having them plumb is important so that the door will swing level, not swinging upwards or downwards. So once you're totally happy with how the door fits and the placement of your hinges, next step is to basically permanently install the hinges, add the reinforcement plate behind them, and get that all bolted down. Okay, I got the reinforcement plate in the door. I put the plumb bob back on it just to confirm that nothing moved around. I would just take another look at everything, make sure you're happy with it, make sure everything is where it's got to be, because next step is start fitting the actual door pin and hinge post. So once you start welding stuff on the car, it's going to be really hard to move it. So make sure the door is where you want it. I ended up making a set of these plates to bolt right on where the factory hinges would go, just to make it a little easier. The posts that come with the kit are basically designed to go right into the cage, but I'm just going to run them out to these plates. So next step is basically start slowly trimming this hinge post back to fit nice against the plate. So basically just whittle away at this thing nice and slow until you get it to fit exactly where you want it. And we're going to do the same for the bottom, and then we'll give everything some real good tacks and try it out. Okay guys, so I finished trimming the hinge posts. I've got them tacked in place. I say tacked, but I got some pretty good welds on them. When I first did the driver's side, I just had like 3 little tacks on it. And when I tried the door, it was dropping quite a bit at the back. It didn't want to come off the hinges properly. And after messing around with it for a bit, I figured out that just my tacks weren't big enough, and the hinge post was just flexing that little bit to kind of throw everything off. So I haven't tried the door yet. I'm going to pull all the clamps, everything off it, and we're going to see how this one works. See if we got to do any tweaking or see if it's good to go. First try. So I'm going to pull all the stuff off the door and give her a try. Feels pretty solid. I haven't got the latches figured out yet. I still got to do that. Oh, it feels pretty good. That's about as far as I can go. I got to trim the door at the bottom. Lift off, nice. Right back on. Perfect. For first shot, I think that's pretty good. One benefit of doing the plates like this is I do have a little bit of adjustment. Just if I got to tweak the back up a little bit, it's pretty easy to do. Whereas if you're welding these right to the car, you'd be bending them or trying to cut them off and move them a little bit. Seemed to work pretty good doing it that way. I've watched a bunch of videos on it. No one really shows you exactly how they're doing it. A lot of guys hinge from the front first, then do the rear latch. This worked pretty well for me. Like I say, my first time ever doing it. I'm going to get the front end fitted up next. That looks like a bit of a challenge, but we're going to give her a shot. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this will help you out. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing it, but not really a lot of good stuff out there, so might as well throw this out there. It might not be good, but better than nothing, right? So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one.